And apparently adults now are regularly drinking mushroom water.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called mud water, and it's like mushroom blended coffee.
Have you tried that, Dan? Have you tried that? Mud water?
I don't drink coffee. I'm certainly not going to drink mushroom coffee.
Dan,
Absolutely
Dan,
not.
You think I've got bags under my eyes now? See me without coffee.
You don't have... Were you at the movies this weekend, Roink?
Yes, I was. Yes.
I was at the movies too. Before you tell me what movie you saw, what snack did you get, Roink?
I got a red icy.
Roink, you go red icy?
Well, you know what? I went to a different movie theater. Usually, I'm a Coca-Cola icy guy, but
I
went to a different theater and they didn't have it, so I just got the red.
Do you slow sip the icy, or do you just pound it down before the previews are even over?
I definitely have to slow serve. I get a brain freeze, so my tongue's still red.
And I hate going to a different movie theater than it's like my home movie theater. Everything's off, everything's wrong, nothing's right. So I'm right there with you, Roink. It just really disrupts the flow.
The seats in this one were amazing, though. They reclined. They were heated seats, too.
You were heated?
They were heated, yes.
No, I don't need a hot seat in a movie theater, man. Absolutely not. It's like toilet seats and movie theater seats are the only two seats I don't need pre-warmed. Do you know what I mean? Like when I stumble into a warm, hot toilet seat, someone's been here. I feel like Goldilocks. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, that's a good point. That's a good point.
But I do like a recliner. Roink.
It reclined, and since it reclined, the heat felt nice in the back.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
nice in the back.
Roink, how is your lower back doing? I haven't checked in on that in a while. Is your lower back doing okay?
My lower back is doing much better. Yeah.
All that chiropractic work is really paying off, Roink.
Yeah.
So what? You got a Coke Slurpee? Did you get a snack to chew on?
I went with a friend and they got some popcorn, so I nibbled on that a little bit. But I really hate popcorn. But if it's there, I'll have a little
Roink!
bit.
This is why we're best friends, Roink, because I don't do popcorn in a movie. Absolutely
I hate it.
not.
It's awful.
Absolutely.
Awful.
Yeah, because I'm picking it out of my teeth for days. I'm sure flossing would help with that, Roink, but I don't have time to floss.
I got the last of it out of my teeth the other day, but afterwards I went out for a drink with my buddy, and I had my fingers in my mouth the whole time, picking kernels out. I felt like a monster.
Yeah, and that's right now we need to keep fingers out of mouths.
That's
Roink,
a good
all
thing.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. I hope you washed your hands first and foremost, Roink, because movie theaters are filthy. No one cleans. They're run by teenagers. They're never cleaned. All right.
This is not what the people came for, Dan. This is not what they came for.
That's not true at all, Roink. People love us. They love the two of us. We've been best friends for 2 decades, and they want to know what we pregame snack-wise before we see a movie, man. I just got Reese's Pieces and a Diet Dr. Pepper. Okay, we can move on to the movie.
Did you like it, Dan?
Roink! This is the first episode, Roink. You know what? I had so much fun. How about you, Roink?
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
It made me feel like it felt like a movie from the 90s. And I don't know how else to describe it other than just like the music was right. All of the jokes were very tongue-in-cheek, fourth wall kind of break. You know, it felt like an SNL Sonic movie in a weird. It just was so much fun. There was so much joy. There's so much silliness. And man, some of the trickery in the plot was so great. And Jim Carrey is just. It felt like watching like a Grinch sequel that had nothing to do with the Grinch, you know, like it just had all that campiness that I absolutely loved.
Yeah, it was classic Jim Carrey, which was really fun to see.
Yeah, because I feel like we haven't had that in a minute, you know, like for a while there, he was just like the world is the worst place ever, and like everything is terrible, and like he was like living in this bizarre character whenever he appeared like in marketing and promotions for movies.
Happy feeling
just
here.
a cluster of tetrahedrons.
People on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you.
But now we got classic Jim back, and I'm happy.
Alrighty then.
I'm glad that Jim's doing well, and you know, let's Truman Show 2. Let's make it happen.
Even though I think Jim Carrey killed it, he was amazing. One thing I can't help but to wonder is like, I'd love to see Danny DeVito in the role
Of Dr. Robotnik?
Yes.
Danny DeVito, Dr. Robotnik. Yeah, it would be truly wonderful, wouldn't it? It would be too literal, I think, Roy.
You can't go wrong with it, though. You just can't go wrong. He's another one of those, like, I still want the Jim Carrey take. I want to see a Danny DeVito take.
Well, maybe they'll do a Sonic multiverse, because we're doing that with the MCU, and that's opened up the door for everybody.
Well, that's what another thing this movie felt like to me. It felt like, in a way, it felt like a Marvel movie for kids, for one thing. And it felt like, and specifically, almost like Deadpool for kids. Like the character of Sonic, right?
Yes. That's very much what it felt like, 100%. And we see that happen a lot. If you're a parent and you have kids and you're watching kids entertainment, you're watching the stuff on Disney Plus, on Netflix, you're like, oh my gosh, this just feels like The Office for kids. Or oh my gosh, this just feels like X and Y, Z for kids. So this is definitely that, like, again, it's that fourth wall breaking. It's just like Sonic's talking to us sometimes, and that's so great as an audience to see. My kids loved it.
Oh yeah.
They loved
I mean, the theater I went to was filled with kids. But but it also made me think of another thing, because I hate thinking about a movie as for kids, right? A good movie should be a good movie, whether it's for kids or not.
General audience. Right. Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, 100%.
And then I was like, what should I compare this to? So I started thinking, like, compare it to like a Pixar movie, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Where those are like for kids, but like an adult gets more out of it.
Yeah. An adult can. Well,
but I would not say that's the case with this movie, though.
No, yeah, that's true. Yeah. As an adult, there were some scenes where it's just like, hey, man, that hedgehog is not your baby. All right. You're a human. Stop calling that thing your son.
I got to tell you, I am so glad that you mentioned that, because that was one of my pet peeves. That's like one of the things I hate about this movie is how they refer to him as like a kid. It's like, and I get it. Right. I get the family thing, the family message. Right. But like, it's too forced. Yeah. It's way too forced.
Yeah. It was very forced. And as you know, because we're distant relatives, we're cousins, because we both have the same kind of facial hair, so people can see the resemblance between us. We can talk about how we're related. We can't talk. You can't be James. You can't be cut jaw goddess Adonis James Marsden talking about how a little blue fuzzy thing's your kid. Just doesn't play.
Hey, you know what? Now that you mentioned that about James Marsden, like he's like a really handsome, like buff dude. That also made that one scene like really awkward.
Yeah, the scene where all the bros.
I know. I'm like, you see the guy's got the abs. It's like, James Marsden, just take your shirt off. Like, you fit right in.
Yeah, and he does like a thing where he's like, I'm coming over, and he pulls up these two big old guns. James Marsden is like, bro, you are stacked, James. You were Cyclops, man. You can go toe to toe.
Yeah. So it's like the old Chris Pratt is like who should have been in that movie, right?
Yeah, right. But well, yeah. Yeah. It's so funny because we're kids, you look at a character like that and it just feels very daddish. You know what I mean? He feels very like, protective, like like anxious, like the Chipmunk's dad, like has that like, I have a wild animal as a kid, so I live in a place of anxiety all the time, and so do a lot of kids' parents are anxious all the time. And so kids see that and they're like, yeah. He's just an old anxious man. And he's going up against a bunch of strong, muscly bros.
The Chipmunk comparison is a really good comparison, especially like the human character in that.
What's his name
in this movie? Tom.
He's Tom in this movie. He's such generic names too. Such generic names. Donut Lord. Yeah. You watched the first one? I take it, right?
I did watch the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy, and it left off at a really fun cliffhanger that they picked right up, like literally right up from the Mushroom Planet. Like so much fun. I love the Mushroom Rube Goldberg machine. And apparently, from what I didn't realize that adults now are regularly drinking mushroom water. It's like it's on my TikTok all the time.
Oh, really?
It's called mud water.
Oh.
Yeah, it's called mud water, and it's like mushroom blended coffee. So apparently this is a thing. This is a thing.
Have you tried that, goodness. Dan? Have you tried that mud water?
Absolutely. Roink, I don't drink coffee. I certainly am not going to drink. I don't drink coffee. I'm certainly not going to drink mushroom coffee. Absolutely not.
How do you not drink coffee? Oh my gosh.
How do I not drink? Because I can't, man. I can't. I'm a super taster and a super smeller.
You think I've got bags under my eyes now? See me without coffee.
I have seen you without coffee, man. You're a mess. You're the only person I encourage to drink more coffee. But that's just how you do.
Yeah.
That's just how you do. You don't have. Yeah. Roink, Roink, you never sleep, man. If you just slept a little bit more, you'd be fine. But coffee's just going to keep you alive, and you're going to live forever. So
I just need a solid 45 minutes a night. That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Whew, okay.
But anyway, you know what? Talking about James Marsden just kind of brings me up to another question I have here.
Okay.
And it's just like, does this Sonic universe need people?
That's such a great question, Roink.
Right?
Yes, we do.
Why?
We need people. We need people because
I mean, at least Dr. Robotnik. Like I understand one person, but do we need Earth? Do we need a wedding at the Four Seasons Hotel? Do we need?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we do, because general audiences need something to like as an avatar for themselves in the picture.
Oh,
you know
I
what I mean?
see.
And so we can't. The film becomes a grounded, realistic story because it's grounded in our environment. You know, in real. So it becomes like Power. When I was a kid, I was certain Power Rangers were real, and I used to like speculate how and where they stored the giant robots that they would fight giant monsters in California in. You know what I mean? So as a kid watching this, I'd just be like, oh yeah, this is real. Sonic's just living in the Pacific Northeast and having a great time, you know?
Oh, that does make sense, actually, because like you know, it's the same reason why probably like most anime isn't mainstream. Like it just needs that human connection more, right?
Yeah.
I'm with you now.
Roink, what are you implying, Roink? Is that fans of anime just don't have enough human interaction in their life, and so that they can empathize better with cartoons?
Hey,
is that what you're saying, Roink?
You said that, not me. I did not say that.
Roink, I was just repeating what you said,
No,
Roink.
No. Don't put this on me, buddy. No. What? No. I hear what you're saying. You know, jokes aside, you know, it's you know, anime is humongous, and there's a humongous industry that makes billions of dollars, but it's not quite mainstream. At least not yet. And actually, you know what? I think we're going into a world where like there is no mainstream anymore. Everything is just there's so many different pockets of different. Yeah.
You know, the world has become very small.
Yeah.
Very fast because we just can talk to everybody. We can communicate with everybody, so we can find our communities way easier than before. So it's really diversified in media, and so that's why you need humans in big movies like this to ground them so that we can see ourselves in the story, you know?
Well, because what you're saying is for general audiences. Just to go back to it being a kid's movie, you know, most kids like TV shows. They're completely animated or cartoon, and the kids completely buy those worlds. But you're saying because it's more than just even though it is primarily a kid's movie, it is a general audiences, right? That's why.
Well, yeah, because we have to step it up because now it's a major motion picture. So we've got to step it up. We've got to step up the stakes, the storytelling, everything that's involved. It has to appeal to as wide a base as humanly possible. When these big studios are making the machine, there's photos out there floating around of like the original cast list of who they wanted for Sonic and who they wanted for Tom. And you can see that it's just nothing but lists of recognizable names. In fact, it's kind of amazing that they kept the Tails voice actor or voice actress in this case, because she's not known in the mass. Because we have Idris Elba playing Knuckles, you know, and Ben Schwartz playing Sonic, and James Marsden, you know, like we just and Jim Carrey. We're piling names into this vehicle because the big people with the money didn't have the confidence that it would do well without big presence in it. But hey, we've seen the movies now, you know, so they were right.
All right. You know, now that you mentioned the voices, though, I wanted to mention Knuckles' voice.
Idris.
You mentioned
Idris. You an Idris fan?
I love Idris. I think he's great, but I just felt like not so much the voice, but it just felt like as a character, like at first it was tough person, right? And then like especially by the end, it just got like a little bit too goofy for me.
Yeah, his motivation was very muddied. His motivation and his character plot was like his character through line was very muddied. And, you know, I guess it just boiled down to, he just was a one beat character. Are you loyal? Are you loyal to me? Will you maintain me? Will you maintain my agency in our relationship? And as long as you gave him a little bit of agency, he will be loyal to you. So he's a very flawed character because, like, you know, anyone with a shiny coin of loyalty will just, you know, get his attention clearly. But, you know, that flaw is what got us to have him and Sonic be BFFs by the end of everything, you know? So was like, you know, Sonic saved him.
Yeah, and it was also like a little bit, his character seemed like a little muddy to me, like you said.
Yeah.
I had two other small points with him that kind of bothered me. One is his gloves that had the spikes on it. Those spikes were clearly made out of fabric.
The spikes, the gloves go over his spikes.
I saw a seam going down the back of the spike. It was
that's because it has to be. It's wrapped in fabric. How would you flat pattern those spikes?
If you wrap a spike in fabric and then shove that spike into a mountain wall, there's no more fabric.
Well, it was leather. That's the thing. Sonic's
There's
gloves
no
were
more leather. There's no more leather.
Hey, this is special space leather, all right? From a different planet, made from some
speaking of space materials, where the heck did Tails get his shoes?
What do you mean?
Tails has sneakers.
Yeah, he has a backpack. He has like all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah. When Sonic first came to the Earth, he didn't have shoes. He had to make shoes out of like duct tape or something, and then the kid gave him the shoes, and then Tails just appears here with like human style.
Tail appears with a backpack full of gadgetry, and your first question is, how did he make his own shoes?
That is my first question, Dan. Yes, that is exactly my question. Consistency.
I don't know. He probably has a shoe ray that just puts shoes on him. Like that. Speaking of Tails and all of his accessories and stuff, I love that whole scene where they're roaming through the hotel carrying Tails' backpack full of gadgets that they're randomly just shooting. I mean, like, my gosh, if that whole scene wasn't made to sell a toy, which was Tails' backpack full of accessories. But later on, when Tail is like coming to, the backpack is back on him because it's the same 3D character model. There is no character model without the backpack. And so they like, apparently in the story, they put after they used all of the weapons from his backpack, they put everything back in the backpack and then re-put it on his lifeless body to hide their tracks so that Tails wouldn't know that they used his, I don't know. I thought that was a little strange, but oh man, can we talk about the wedding ring? The use of the wedding ring. Like the whole wedding ring thing was such a like so genius with the Sonic rings.
It was a genius idea with a garbage execution.
Yeah. Okay, yes, I will give you that. It was a questionable, like, why do we do it? There could have been so many other.
It was a questionable 20 minutes. That was the problem.
Yeah, the whole wedding felt very...
It should have been a gag.
Yeah, the whole wedding felt very unneeded, didn't it? It felt very unnecessary.
I saw the gag coming a mile away when he did the trick with the ring, right?
Right.
And then I'm waiting.
Yeah.
When is this going to pay off? And then...
But my kids didn't. Grown-ups see that kind of stuff coming, but for a kid, they're like, what? You know, it was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, like especially like when James Marsden goes up and says, "I need that ring," right? They go back and forth like 5 times, and he never like explains like why. Just say, "Oh, I just need it. I just need it for a second. Like, can you just give it to me? Can you just give it? Like just say it. Say it, James."
A blue space baby lives with me and he's going down a mountain and his life's in danger and I need the ring because I accidentally switched it. Like, yeah, like people are such bad communicators, aren't they? We really need to work on our communication skills as people, guys.
Or they need to work on better writing skills for the script. Right? Am I right or am I right?
Well, Roink, you said it, not me, buddy. You said it. It's a family film, man.
It was good. No, but even that whole wedding, none of it made sense.
No, the wedding was a lot.
Like I was thinking about it at first, like that lady was so like aggressive about being like, "Don't you mess up my wedding." And then I actually, when I saw it coming, that it was going to be messed up, I felt bad for her. And then it happened, and then you find out the whole wedding is like fake, and then I feel worse for her. And then
way worse. Way worse.
Way worse. And then you're like, wait, if it's an FBI wedding to watch Sonic, Sonic's in Siberia, and they're in Ohio. Like, these are the worst FBI agents. Like, the FBI agents would have said, hey, let's keep this wedding in Seattle, right? To keep an eye on Sonic. And or let them go do the wedding with just the one agent, and then the rest of the agents go to where Sonic is. Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah, that's a big old plot hole, Roink. I'm not going to argue with you there. That's definitely something. How'd you feel about the quest for the Emerald, Roink?
I thought it was fun, but I didn't fully. I don't think I fully grasped why we were going to get it.
Because the dead owl was the protector of the rock. That now now that the red thing wants, so the blue thing is now it's his job to protect the green thing.
I feel like they got to let that dead owl go.
They did. I'm pretty sure this movie.
No, I don't want to see it anymore. Like, James Marsden is the new owl. That's what it is.
No, well, Sonic's the new owl. Like, Sonic's the new owl.
No, the owl was like the parent figure.
Right. Well, Sonic will slowly become the parent figure of
himself.
Of new Sonic, of like that black and white one.
I don't know enough about Sonic. I assume that's like a Bizarro Superman version, no?
Yeah, kind of. Yep, a government experiment version of Sonic. Yeah. My audience, this was like Endgame for my audience, packed with kids. And when the Chaos Emeralds were released from the main Emerald, and Sonic went supersonic, my audience lost its mind. It lost its mind. It was so cool to be with all those fans. Oh my gosh. And then the mid-credit scene rolled with Shadow. It was like the portals were opening in Endgame. I swear, the audience went bananas. They were screaming in the aisles. It was crazy. It was so cool. It tickled me so much. I love that.
Yeah, that was the first time I think I ever saw like a movie with like a ton of kids in it, because I went opening day.
Yeah.
Like, usually if I see a movie like that, it's like happens to not be opening day and there's only like 5 people in the audience.
Yeah. Well, Roink, you like your privacy, so I get that. I respect that. I'm sorry, Roink.
It's not that I like privacy. I just don't like people.
I think that is the same thing. So you want to be alone, and you respect that desire to be alone for your privacy.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I go to movies alone all the time, so I'm right there with you. I like to go to the movies alone, too, with an empty theater. I don't need people up on my stuff, I don't need people in my space. I don't need people, sniffing around the snacks I'm eating.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I will say this is a fun movie to see with an audience. Just getting that audience reaction for things, that was cool.
Yeah, it's a great movie to see with an audience, 1,000%. How did you feel about the big robot battle?
I thought it was fun. I thought it looked a little bit too much like the Juggernaut, but other than that, it was fun.
That's a pretty iconic Sonic Robotnik design, actually.
True,
that robot was, I think, very directly inspired by the whole, because Robotnik has this whole long, elongated oval energy.
Yeah. Well, I should say too, there's another I don't know a whole lot about all of Sonic Universe. I played the game when I was in the 90s, right? And I watched the cartoon maybe 3 times in the late 90s. But I wouldn't say, I don't know any of the comics or anything like that. So, another thing that I didn't love, but I went with it, was, the rings being transport devices.
That's consistent with the lore, yeah.
Yeah, that's consistent with the lore, but I just,
Well, also, he lost all those rings in Siberia, and then we just left that. We didn't talk anymore about... now he's got there's a bag of Sonic rings that got emptied in the blizzard, in the avalanche, and so is that just going to open up a gateway for another story device in the next movie? Maybe. Or is it just an empty plot hole? Maybe.
Yeah, another thing just makes me wonder, because when I played the game, those rings felt like a currency, right? Like a coin, like the Mario coin.
Yep, like Mario coins.
You use it to buy something, right? But now that they're transport devices, it's well, first of all, where do they come from? I don't think we know that, right?
No, and you know what? I respect the fact that they're just like, here's a map, here's the safe worlds, here's the not safe worlds, here's a bunch of lore that we probably will never explore because that's not what this series is about. This series is about Sonic in your world. It's not about you in Sonic's world.
Yeah, I understand that, but still, it's like if we have a bag of them, let's say there's 100 in the bag. That's a lot, right?
Yeah.
But it's not a lot if it's all you have for the rest of your life. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like we use hey, let's go to Hawaii quick instead of doing a 6-hour flight. Like,
6
like it's
hours.
for like, well, I mean, depends where you live, right?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I forgot you, Roink. You live on the West Coast.
Yes. And so like from that standpoint, it's like I feel like we should use these for.
Can you recollect the ring?
Oh, you know what? I don't even know. Can you? If you can, then I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, they're just more precious resources than like we should be keeping in like a flimsy bag that's tied with a piece of leather. You know what I mean? Like at least put a zipper on the bag. At least put a zipper on the bag.
And also too, well, if they're reusable, like you probably don't need more than like, I don't know, 3, like a backup.
Yeah. And, I would say 4 tops.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I feel like that's a little loose.
But I guess they're not reusable because he gives them a ring. No, he gives them a ring to come home with. So.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So they must not be reusable. So like,
but at the same time, he's not sending them out there with rings, with all the rings. So he's got to send them with the ring to come back because he's not going out there with them. So the rings may be recollectible,
but only by him.
But maybe only by Sonic's little white gloved hands. Right.
Interesting.
Right.
So there's one more thing I had a question about too. So Sonic, his power is the speed, right? And Tails is like intellect.
The knowledge.
And the flying, right? And Knuckles, what is Knuckles?
The brawn.
The brawn, the strength, right?
The strength, yes.
So that's what I thought. And then he can't lift a rock underwater?
Well, he had the wind knocked out of him, bro.
Yeah, but like, if he's...
Yeah, Roy, don't but me. When was the last time you were in a submerged aquatic temple with a stone pillar laying on you, being unconscious?
I'm not an alien known for being strong, okay? I'm an alien being known for being weak and dirty.
That's the truth. Right, you are filthy. You are so filthy. You have to stop watching movies from the floor of the theater. It's the filthiest place, Roink. It's the filthiest place. My God, Roink.
It's the cheapest ticket. Best seats. You can eat the popcorn off the floor for people too.
All the popcorn you can eat, Roink. You're such a filthy animal. Don't ever kiss me.
But like the other thing, like, and I don't know the science on this, but like when you're underwater, aren't things like lighter too?
No, things aren't lighter. If they have buoyancy, they are. But a stone pillar has no buoyancy. Things aren't lighter.
It's like easier to lift underwater, though, right?
No, bro. Gravity still applies. You're thinking of space, Roink.
We gotta give this a test. We gotta test this out.
And Roink, I know for a fact you've seen M. Night Shyamalan Signs, so you know that water and aliens do not go well together.
Yeah, no, you're right. All right, you got this. You got this. Yeah, you win.
So
you win.
Knuckles, we just didn't know that water was his weakness.
Okay.
Maybe Sonic and Knuckles need air to activate their powers.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. I just felt like it needed like a little bit of more explanation and or a better like obstacle that wasn't like directly in contrast with what's supposedly his power, right?
I see. Yeah. Okay. Right, like a speed obstacle or an intellect obstacle.
Yeah, something like that. Not like specifically something like...
Yeah, like a puzzle or something. Yeah.
Yeah, a puzzle. That would have been good, yeah.
But you know what? We needed a moment for Sonic to save Knuckles, for Knuckles to understand that Sonic values life.
And again, like a speed thing would have been better then, right? Because like Sonic's not known for being strong.
When you are drowning, time is of the essence, Roink.
But Sonic could even like speed down there. He had to hug a rock and jump in.
Right, and then we also found that Sonic could not float either.
Yeah.
Maybe alien beasts are just don't do well with water on Earth.
Well, they have I'm sure they don't have a carb problem too. Like they're not very buoyant. They're probably all solid muscle. All those laps he does, and
yeah,
he'll sink right down.
Yep, sink right down. Yep, not a lick of fat on that Sonic.
Yeah.
Did you like the Golden Sonic? Did you like the Super Saiyan Sonic?
Yeah, it was. You know what? That was actually it was something I didn't remember from the game, but I thought it was cool. It reminded me a lot of like Dragon Ball Z. But it was cool. It was
Sonic
a good moment.
Saiyan.
Yeah.
Well, it's just because Sonic's got those spikes, and when you turn those spikes gold, he's gonna look like a Saiyan.
For sure.
It's just gonna happen. It happens in the game. I think when you collect the Chaos Emeralds, and there's a part of the game where you're like in like a half pipe, and like you're kind of like going back and forth. And I think if you collect emeralds, you turn gold. Like when Mario gets a star.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was the feeling I got from it, but I just didn't ring a bell. Yeah. No, I'm sure you're right. I don't know. At one point. And I say this with love, but this is not meant to be like a read on the movie, but like at one point I realized like I'm gonna kind of turn my brain off and have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like with all due respect, it's just like, and you can't do that for all movies. It's not saying I do that for bad movies. This movie was good enough that you could do that and not like lose something.
I don't think there's anything wrong with a movie you have to turn your brain off for. I do that for almost all the movies that I see, if I'm being honest, because that's just what movies, you got to suspend disbelief, and it's just a movie about a talking blue dog. You know what I mean?
Talking blue.
As a furry person yourself, how did you feel about like the animation of the characters? How did you feel about all that character design, the character work?
The character design was great. I remember all that, that chaos from before the first one came out. And I didn't have a huge problem with the first one. I think the new one's cuter. It almost looks too cartoony, but again, it's fun for this. So like, I don't think I would have had a problem either way, honestly.
Oh, you think you would have been okay with the dog-faced one that it first came out with?
I'm not going to say I loved it. But like I saw what they were trying to do.
But you would have been okay with it.
They're trying to make it as if it was in the real world rather than a 3D
but we don't
cartoon
need that.
character.
We don't need that though with this. We don't need that. If Gollum could have big gooey eyes, so can this thing. Like Gollum's eyes were anime character eyes. You know what I mean? Like,
but even by that standpoint, the original design, those were still big eyes.
That's true. They were big eyes. They were. It's funny.
I just did a cartoon level.
Yeah, I just did a video on the Sonic costume evolution, and the mascot they have for the current movie Sonic is still based off of the designs for the original Sonic before they changed it all up. You could so clearly tell because the eyes are so small.
Yeah, you can clearly tell, but like I still felt like I'd need to be told that. Because like it's it's still in real life, it still kind of works.
Yeah, in real life, it does kind of work.
Translation is often still a little bit off, right?
Yes, yeah. And I didn't. The texture of his fur bothered me a lot because it really wasn't consistent with both Knuckles or Tails because he's got all these like big, heavy, and I know he's a hedgehog, but I thought that's what his back spikes were. But then they added back spikes into the fur. There's like a lot of like layers of texture that were going
the quills,
on with,
right?
Yeah, the quills. Right. But I thought that Hedgehog's fur was just quills. I didn't know that they had fur and quills, right?
Interesting, yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm not a Hedgehog expert.
Well, that's another thing, too, that it just has me thinking about is that quill that Dr. Robotnik has. Like, I don't know if we know, like, enough about that.
Like where Sonic's magic comes from?
Yeah, like, why does that still contain magic after this long? And if that one quill has that much magic, why doesn't like Sonic able to just like float around everywhere all the time?
Well, I think they say after you crack a glow stick, if you keep it in the freezer, it glows longer and it stays glowy for longer. So he's probably just keeping it cold, Roink. He's probably just keeping it cold and it's maintaining the magic.
That sounds like the level of logic this movie's using. So I'm totally fine with that. That's fine. Yeah. I'll buy that. Sold. No more questions.
It's just the MacGuffin of the movie, you know, man. It's just, well, it was for the first movie, and now it's just carried over. Do you think we'll see Dr. Robotnik in the third movie? Because I'm pretty sure by the end of the movie, he got pretty well squashed.
I think we will, even though, I don't know if you heard this, Jim Carrey announced that he's, like, retiring.
I'm retiring.
So it's a lot of speculation.
How many times have we heard that, Roink? How many times?
I've never heard that before. You've heard that before?
Well, I'm not saying for Jim Carrey specifically, Roink, but I'm saying that, like, how many times have we heard a celebrity be like, well, this is it, guys. This is the last time I'm celebritying, you know? And then
I'll throw up the clip right here, but he says, like, he literally, like, does this whole thing. He's like, I might come if it's the perfect script and the perfect director and everything.
If the Angels bring some sort of, you know, script that's, you know, written in gold ink that says to me that it's going to be really important for people to see, I might continue down the road, but I'm taking a break.
But but he says, you know what? I'm going to say something that you've never heard an actor say. I have enough.
And this is something you might never hear another celebrity say as long as time exists. I have enough. I've done enough. I am enough.
So so he'll come back when he doesn't have enough. When he needs that new house or something. Yeah, it's so interesting. It's like my standards are too high is what it sounds like. You know, like I need a really big project to motivate me to want to do anything because I'm set. And I respect that. You know, clear the path for more weird people to make movies like me.
Yeah. So, should we give this movie a rating?
Drop a rating on it, Roink. Tell me how you feel about it.
I say if you're an adult going by yourself, this is maybe wait for streaming. It's like a solid 7. But if you have kids or nephews and you're gonna go with them, it's a 9 or maybe even 10 out of 10. Fun day for the family. Yeah. That's what I'd say.
I will agree with Roink, and I will just add one caveat that if you were or are an active Sonic fan, it's a 10 out of 10 for you. It is movie is nothing but fan service, but done in a really great way. In a really, really great way. It is the end game. It feels like, and it feels like they're just getting started, but it feels very much like that end game energy where you're just like, I can't believe they did this. Because end game was fan service. It was so much fan service. So it's just like, I can't believe they did this. I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they did that. It just keeps going and going and going. And I didn't watch any of the trailers. So like, I guess the wedding ring thing was a big reveal in the trailer, but I loved it. I don't like watching trailers because they tell you the whole movie. I saw this trailer for like a camp movie, like a family camp movie before Sonic. Did you see that trailer?
No, I saw the Bad Boys trailer.
Oh, we were in two very different theaters then, I guess. There was like this Christian produced camp movie that was like there was a trailer for it before Sonic. And the trailer literally was the entire movie in 3 minutes. I couldn't believe what I was watching. So, but yeah, I would give this
Sounds like they did you a favor then.
Yeah. Roink, you're my favorite, man. Oh my god!
But I just want to point out one thing because you said like about the fan service and it was done well. I gotta say that's one thing I like too because like specifically when he was underwater and the way he like had the air from that bubble. Like
yes!
it was so good. And so many movies like try to put stuff like that in, but it's so like, oh gosh, it's like my, it's like Pixels. You ever see Pixels?
Yes.
Oh, God.
It felt like they made that entire movie just for the gag of Sonic sucking a water bubble. Because it felt so grounded and in the moment and not out of place. It was really well done. Oh man, I'm so glad you said that, Roink, because it's a great that bit made me laugh so much.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved that a lot. But
Roink, can we talk about movies more often, Roink? On the internet?
So let's do this again. This will be fun. What's the next movie you think?
Oh, I don't know, Roink. What's coming out? I think it might have to be Doctor Strange.
Multiverse of Madness?
Yeah, Roink. Are we going to go multiverse? You look like you're in the multiverse right now, Roink. Where are you, man?
I'm just I had a quick break in between filming for an Apple commercial.
Okay, Roink. I didn't know that they were going in that direction, but you know what? If you could get the work, man, book it. As soon as we hang up, let's go buy tickets for Multiverse of Madness.
All right, yeah. All right,
buddy. I'll see you at the movies.
Adios, man. Bye.